I mean, this is like a feature-length movie amount of emotion and story that they are packing into this 3 or 4 minutes. This is crazy. Hello friends, today we're watching another Star Wars cinematic. This is for the Old Republic. It is called Sacrifice. I am very excited. This one's been out for a little while, but it is amazing. I have not watched this in, well, probably since it came out. So it's been many years. I'm so excited to dive back into this and rewatch it, and we can see what inspires us. Star Wars has been a little stale. Like the shows, the movies have been a little stale over the last few years, and our only hope, our one and only hope, Kenobi, is video games right now. Like video games still crush it. So we're going to get inspired by this and see what we could take away from it for some shorts that we're going to be filming this summer. So without any further ado, let's dive in and watch and talk about this. This is called Sacrifice.
A man can have anything.
That voice is so
if
low.
He is willing to sacrifice.
Sick jump
With your
cut.
birth comes a solemn vow. You will have nothing. Your privilege is the dirt.
Oof. Took it like a champ. We're only like 30 seconds in and there's already so much story. This is very cool.
In the darkness, only ambition will guide you.
Ooh, illuminated by one light source like that always looks so good.
You swear, the promises you make, they are yours alone.
The shot design is so clean on this. Oof.
Your freedom will be the wars you wage.
Such a cool montage. It looks so powerful. Oh my gosh.
Your birthright, the losses you suffer.
Oh. Star Wars ships, man. No one does it harder than Star Wars for ships.
Your entitlement, the pain you endure.
Love all that smoke. Or all the dust, I should say. Looks so cool.
And when darkness finds you,
Ooh, you got a cool mask.
you will face it alone.
Man, so much energy and you can barely see his face. You know exactly what he's thinking. Oh. Love an asymmetrical shot. His armor is so cool. Oh, look at that shot. Absolutely incredible. Yellow lightsabers are peak to me. I think they're so sick. I mean, this is like a feature-length movie amount of emotion and story that they are packing into this 3 or 4 minutes. This is crazy.
Come with me, son.
Oh my gosh. This is so tight. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's so much to talk about. This feels so big right out of the gate, which is so, so cool. We'll go through and play through some more of this here, but my goodness.
A man can have anything.
Look at how cool this is. I love all these slow-mo shots at the beginning. And even here at the very beginning, it's really cool. They're telegraphing some of the scenes that are about to come. You kind of forget about it. Like they're shown here to like hook you and give you intrigue, but you kind of forget like all the setup because it blows right past it. And you're like, oh, is that a vision? You know, because you just do a really cool match cut right out of the gate. That's a very cool jump cut, match cut.
With your birth.
I love how symmetrical that is. This looks really cool. Because obviously they're twins, right? You know, but establishing that visually, not just saying, oh, here's two babies in a crib, but like literally framing it so that they're perfectly balanced on either side of the father here it's just really smart filmmaking.
Comes a solemn vow.
Same with this, like you right away, everything's by twos, right? You have the two guards on the side, you have the two stands, even the symmetry of the room itself. You can see there's like exhaust or pillars on both sides, identical. Both are exactly the same. This is really cool.
You will have nothing.
Love golden hour. This is like ideal to film in. Obviously, practically, you're not given a lot of time, but you could do this. It's a short enough scene that if you got two kid actors out, you could get all the B-roll you needed here within that amount of time frame before the sun would set. You'd have yourself a nice solid hour, probably like 15 minutes or so when it was the most perfect. But you could totally get those shots. This is completely doable realistically to shoot practically.
Your privilege.
Same with this. It'd be fun to recreate this shot because I live out in the country and I have fields. I could film this and then do a sky replacement and put in a giant planet here in the background.
Is the dirt.
This is cool. We're establishing that they're very good fighters. They've been training ever since they're very young. You're seeing this right away. It's an interesting slow motion shot, just purely from a technical standpoint. It doesn't flow smooth enough to make it feel like it was filmed at like 120 frames a second. I see this in movies sometimes, like you watch even like an older film like Gladiator or something like that. And quite often the slow motion shots in there are just 24 frame a second shots that have been slowed. So they actually have a more jittery frame rate to them as opposed to a silky smooth slow motion shot. This is really cool. Anytime, because they show that in the previous shot here as well, I'll show you. I'll go back to it right here. This is awesome. This is framing, right? So this is telegraphing a bit of a story. We have our father here, a character that's eating up a bunch of the screen, a third, if not a half of the screen here, and it guides our eye to the two boys fighting, but it's not like just a wall here. There is interest here, so you are seeing that they're being observed, which is really cool. It's always great to frame stuff by having something really close to the camera, kind of blocking it out. Here it's like super in shadow, so it's like it's just a natural vignette that's still keeping your eyes right on these two boys. I love this. This scene is mostly illuminated by the kyber crystal here going in, which is like that nice soft yellow. You do have a little bit of blue in the background, which is really cool. This shot, if you wanted to film it practically, you could film this in 5 minutes. You could set this thing up. There's not a lot going on lighting wise. It's just a really pretty close-up shot.
Only ambition.
Yeah, and like I talked about before, I love when a scene is illuminated by one natural practical. So in this case, it is a lightsaber. If you turned it off, it'd be pretty much a completely black scene. But if you remember from the previous shot, here where I was saying there's a little bit of blue cast on these guys, like right on the clothing, which I guess is their clothing that's getting illuminated. When you cut over, you can see a little bit of blue light here over that's edging the boy as well here. However, when we cut to the wide shot, here we don't actually have any blue light, so that was cheated just for that scene, just to add a little bit of contrast. But you didn't want to flatten the image by having light kick in on the right. It would have been the right side here. So that's kind of a clever trick. You know, a lot of times you light for the scene that you're in, even if there's not an exact one-for-one shot to shot. So there was a blue light on for the close-ups, and when they reverse the camera, we cut it off and we just go with the silhouetted yellow. This is cool. That's like a split diopter, I think is what it's called. Practically where you have two two things in your frame totally in focus, and the out of focus part is stuck in the middle. So his ear is out of focus, his eyes perfectly in focus, and these two guys are in focus. And then the line splits down the middle. So it's almost like you see them two shots together, but you can get it with with an actual lens practically. This is cool. Everything is about just grand scale. I really love how you can see all the ships in the background. This creates like a massive scene. Looks beautiful. The throne room is so cool. I really like this because you're seeing a lot of things we haven't seen in a Star Wars before. In the movies, you know, this has a very unique art direction to it that's really, really cool.
Your freedom will be the war.
All these slow motion shots are beautiful. This is cool. Yeah, I love this shot. The scale of this is really cool. Just slightly tilting the camera down as the camera comes through. Or as the ships come through, the camera tilts down a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome. You can notice almost no shot is stagnant. There's a little bit of movement on every camera shot they're doing here. And it's all a little varied. This one they're pulling back. They're like walking with them. This has a little bit more of a tracking left to right. Even this, where he's just falling, you could have just locked it down, but no, they're slowly pulling the camera back just to add that extra layer of energy to each shot. And I love that. And it's not just a digital zoom because you're actually getting some parallaxing with the grass. Which is really neat. So as the camera's pulling through, more grass is getting revealed, and you can tell that it's truly a camera pulling back on a dolly or on a track. Yeah.
Your birthright, the losses.
Yeah. Camera's slowly pushing in towards them because the focus is on them. So it's like every time we see them in frame, we're pushing in slightly to these two guys because they're the core of the story. Look how cool. This is another just natural vignetting. You know, you have the dark, massive ships on the right and the left, and then it gives you this really nice focal point in the center where you can really pop out all the information you want us to see, which are these really cool ship designs. But without these massive ships here, it would just be one giant panel of orange, and it would be a lot to take in. It'd be a lot for your eye to take in. So this is the way that you can kind of cheat it, where you're given a lot of information and you feel the scale of something without being overwhelmed by the amount of information. It's cool. They're using symmetry so much in this whole short, which I think is fantastic. Like these two ships coming up on either side. You have people bowing on either side. She's perfectly centered. This is so, so cool. The symmetry is really, really powerful. Obviously, a really low camera angle to make her seem more powerful. And obviously to accentuate and show off these ships. But I love a low angle whenever I'm revealing something big. And you got that camera shake too. Can't overlook the camera shake. Here, we'll play one more time. As those ships fly by, watch the camera. You feel the camera shake. That's a great transition right through the explosion. You see the ship blow up right here, and we push right through the explosion to transition the scene. Yeah, it's fantastic.
The pain you endure.
Yeah, and I was talking about the dust effects here. This is really, really cool. So much stuff is lost in the distance. There's so much detail. This is so neat. You can see so much of her expression here, and it's all being lit by the red lightsaber. Yep, and that fear. Oh man, you feel that because she's like angry, pissed off, and then you see right before she's gonna die that she realizes that's what's gonna happen. That's a lot to telegraph. Oh, sells that so hard.
You will face it alone.
I mean, look at that frame. How neat is that? That it's being illuminated by his yellow saber, but you see all that hatred. It's just one eye. It's just one eye, and it's all in the body language and how you're pushing in. I'm not a crazy fan of the crossfade. That would be me nitpicking. I tend to not do those if I don't have to. So going from here to crossfade into here, I don't love it, but it's okay. We'll get a pass. I love a reveal shot, right? Because we're starting so close on them walking in. This is all one shot. It started by walking in here, and we're at like a medium, right above their shoulder. But then the camera stays, and the ship pulls out from where the camera is. Actually, the camera is still going up slightly, but now you're revealing where they were. That's such an impressive shot. Symmetry again, very cool. This throne room is amazing. Yeah, look at these designs. This is so cool. All these different sabers. Look at this armor. Nobody wears armor in the movies, and I just think it's the coolest. I shouldn't say nobody wears armor. They have, obviously like the stormtroopers and stuff have armor. I'm talking more of just like Sith and Jedi, like having full suits of armor. They did it a bit in like the Clone Wars show, but live action isn't really touched on that much, and I feel like this looks so cool. That low angle again. Rack focus of the hand looks gorgeous. Yeah, this is very cool. Look at that. That's such a cool, like the framing of the shot is amazing. You're getting that total energy, the feet back, full committing to the swing. I'm curious, actually, this is interesting. So he is here, but I think at the very beginning, he was off to the side a little bit more, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, look at this. I don't think I'm crazy. So this, yeah, look at this. So this is how this is how this trailer opened, and he's definitely way more over to the right, but everything else seems similar. Oh yeah, look, except that he's not over to the right; he's actually behind. That's an interesting choice. So they didn't reuse the shot. It really was like a premonition. It must have been a premonition because you can see the dad smile, so he knows exactly what's happening. But that's really cool. You can tell how close he's getting because you can see the yellow light from the saber actually start to illuminate the side of his head. That's amazing. That's really baking that image together. Man, you feel the oomph of that. It's so cool. Getting pulled, but he doesn't land on the ground. He flips right into a power stance and goes right into a swing instantly. Incredible. There's so much emotion that has to get read here. When his whole face is masked off, it's crazy. Same thing with the slow-mo. It's very interesting. It doesn't feel like proper, like, obviously it's digital, right? These are 3D models. They could have filmed it in any way that they wanted to. They could have done a really high, recorded at 120 frames per second or whatever, but it does look like it was more traditionally like 24 frames a second, and then you slow it down in post to make it a little more jittery. Which you see a lot in medieval films, I feel like, more than anything.
Come with me.
Come with me.
Son. Yeah,
that's so tasty. There is a lot to love in this. I mean, man, favorite shots for me, this is a highlight. She looks so powerful. This is very inspiring because you really feel, this was a standout to me. Just the way she like pops out the saber and you get the ships flying by and the camera shakes. So cool. There's a lot to love. I do love this being illuminated for the scene. I do love that they cheated the lighting, which we noticed, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and there's just symmetry all throughout this whole thing. They keep doing a great job of showcasing the two brothers in a really, really neat way. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's amazing. The whole thing is only 4 minutes long, and you genuinely feel like you watch a movie or like an hour-long episode of TV. The story is that engaging and really shows you that much of an arc and of a journey in such a short amount of time, which is always wickedly impressive to me and inspiring. It makes me want to get out and film something similar to this. So yeah, I love this. I can't wait to get out and shoot more Star Wars content. I love that they took something which we all know and love, Star Wars, and did their own spin on it, made it really aggressive and interesting, did something with twins, which we don't see much of as far as like, obviously, you know, the original one were twins, but this is like the two of them actually fighting together, and you're getting this whole good and bad story arc, which I think is amazing. Yeah, visuals, really cool. It gave me something new I haven't seen before, which is always the takeaway. That's always what I want to see. I always want to see something I've never seen before, especially when it comes to Star Wars, because there's such a wealth of information out there, such a wealth of trailers and movies and shows and everything. So yeah, love this. Let me know in the comments below what other kind of Star Wars content you love me to watch and check out. And yeah, we'll just keep watching. We're going to keep making. We're going to make this a year of just some really fun Star Wars content. So thanks again. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys around later. See ya.